Thank you for clicking on this video. I hope you enjoy. And if you do, then don't forget to like and subscribe. Ring that notification bell so you stay up to date on further content. Nick, welcome to Shadowstar. I am the Renegade Rashad, and this is Star Trek Online. This is a ship visual review video, so allow me to welcome you captains, commanders, warriors of the KDF, and our allies. Today we shall be taking a look at one of our most stunning warships. One of the great Temporal ships even, to come out of Klingon engineering. Though I must admit this alliance has proven to be a benefit to us, we decided for this ship to give her a classic look. We revived a legendary space frame of the Klingon Empire from a period when we were at war with ourselves and the Federation. This ship reminds us on how unity makes us stronger. And so, without further ado, may I introduce to you the finest temporal warship out there. Well, in the Klingon opinion, I guess. Make your own. This is the CHARGH class. One of our finest ships standing. And, well, I guess she is an extreme design change. Ah, relentless. I do love it. Let it not be said that this ship isn't a beautiful expression of Klingon audacity, cunning, and, well, exaggerated epicness. And by that I mean, what on earth was they thinking? But at the same time, damn, nice thinking. It is certainly interesting to see such an unusual starship design, especially among the Klingon Empire. In fact, it almost... This is a weird ship for me. It feels like it's also considered in the same line of design as the sarcophagus ship. But of course, it's probably similar age actually. But you've also got heavy design orientations that are different. But you can pick up on aspects of what will later become the Klingon battle cruiser. This ship has got some beautiful cues. The only question is, if these are nacelles, why so big? I mean, in comparison to the main ship. It is one of the most balmy ship designs going. I half feel like it has the primary core, secondary hull, and third hull. Where do you even get into this review? Well, there is an awful lot to pick up on this ship, but at the same time, there isn't that much at all. Then there are things on it that really catch my eye of attention and make me feel like the ship was originally designed to be the other way around, or I should say at least in the sails the other way around. How do we even get started on this ship? Okay, first of all, let's start off with the primary core itself. It's very hard to get close in on that core, but we'll talk where I can with it. So first of all, I love how on the primary core you can actually see its deflector array. Oop, don't mind me, just curving the ship about apparently with weird inputs. So you can see dead center there's a deflector array, but I'm pretty sure this ship is actually using a triple deflector array. What do I mean by that? Well, that's got a very similar design imprint to what you see at the end of the nacelles. Now, of course, these should probably be Bassard collectors, but the only thing that makes me think it might not be a triple deflector array is the fact that the two ends of the Bassards, or where the Bassards should be, there is no glowing element. But you can see in the deflector of the main core that there is a glow element. So honestly, I feel like that's the deflector there, and these at the very end of the nacelles are the Bassard collectors, with what's hanging out the front of them being high output. I want to say beam lancers, or they might be high yield, like hyper disruptors, mega disruptors. I don't know. You got mega phasers. Maybe they're mega disruptors. Tied straight into the nacelles, it would make sense. And in fact, I think that's what is actually going on with this ship. You see, it's a warship, and it's almost, you could almost categorize it as a destroyer as such. You've got your main hold section, it's where everyone is, then it's connected up to these two gigantic nacelles, which are actually acting on two planes. You see, one of the most powerful things you can do with a ship is use one of the nacelles, the charges within one of the nacelles, to power a weapon, like the Galaxy X. The third nacelle was in place not to improve the warp field, but to actually support the phaser lance. The nacelle was being used to hypercharge the phaser lance, and I'm pretty sure that's what's going on here. First of all, each nacelle is charging that main weapon right at the front. Looking at the details on the weapon, you can see it's definitely got a charge cylinder, and then probably what's moving towards the front is a focusing section. So it's probably high yield charge, get to a real high output, charges into the focusing section, which turns it into its narrow beam instead of having a huge output burst, and then it basically goes down the barrel and fires at full energy output straight, dealing heavy amounts of damage such as the phaser lance would have been able to do. But of course, in the period of discovery, so it's a thing. But that's how I imagine that weapon there to be functioning. Moving back, and you can see how industrialized and how beat up the nacelles really are. I say beat up. They're rough and rugged, obviously designed for easy maintenance and high output. There's an exposed section going down here, even cooling vents being shown. Comes back to this form of pod that's in the middle. Now, I am pretty damn certain that I'm relatively comfortable saying that's a disruptor beam bank. Micro strip, probably one of the first disruptor strips seen, and it can fire in a heavy output, one underneath as well, keeping it balanced. Essentially, if you look where it is, it will give the ship good sort of sight below and above for side arcing, as well as, due to its placement, it can also, almost ROW method, fire a heavy beam forwards. So I suspect that it is some kind of dual integration beam strip. Moving back, there's two parts that are very similar in design. Now, as much as they look similar, I don't think they're the same thing. So, okay, I'm gonna just go with what I think each are. The glowing circles on the top of the nacelles are also mirrored underneath. I'm pretty positive that those are focusing crystals. You got impulse crystals, focusing crystals, however you want to call them. I'm pretty sure that's what those are. Especially since each part of this ship contains a impulse drive of some form. Then you've got on the side of the warp nacelle is this huge other circular plate, which personally, the way it stands off from the ship, it kind of would argue against being what I think it is. But if you look at the way it's set, and it is relatively flat in there. I'm trying to go flat to it, it's really hard to do. I'm pretty sure it's a docking pool. I mean, that's what I would imagine it to be. Just a simple docking port, or an anchoring port, at least. Yes, you couldn't dock one of these ships to another one of these ships, but you could easily dock to a station, and you'd use extension ramps. And in fact, actually, you could probably dock one to one, because we saw, even with Discovery, for it to dock to another ship, they just extend pylons across, saying the Klingons don't do the same. Certainly, it's definitely what I believe that to be. At least it would make the most sense to me. If we move towards the back of the nacelle, my word, I hope that 360-degree arcs, because they look terrifying. Really, you missed a beat not putting these on the front of the ship as well. In fact, if I was doing this ship, I'd have been a little bit naughty, and I'd have put the one on the aft, and I'd have put two on the front, just to make it look really intimidating. But, hey, I like them being there. You can tell exactly what they are now. They're turreted dual cannons. Now, if only you could put dual cannons on the aft, that would be fun. Yeah, just one wide arc dual cannon on the aft. Or two wide arc dual cannons on the aft. Why not? I would load it on. But you can't, so that's a bit of a pity. Still, I like the design. What I don't like about this ship, though, is that hook on the back of the nacelle. And I haven't had many negatives to say about ships recently, but I've got to bring that one up. It's just out of place. I feel like it would have been better if it just stayed smooth going round. Or if you took this grilling and just took it around the nacelle in some manner. But it's gotta be what it's gotta be. We got this weird hook. The only problem is, I can see that hook being a major weak spot on the ship. All you gotta do is fire enough anchors through it, and suddenly you got bang! There you go. You ain't going nowhere. Tractor beams be damned. We've anchored you to everything in sight. Plus, if you threw a mine in there, you could literally launch a mine into there. The mine would get hooked up on the ship itself, and before it bounces off, explodes. You're blown up in the cell apart. It's just a really bad weak spot. Let's go back to the primary section now. So, we spoke on the deflector first of all. Now, another thing I want to bring up is its actual design. It looks really aggressive and sleek. It also looks like it's wearing some kind of mask. I know you people are probably thinking, what the hell are you talking about? But I'm just looking at the grilling on it, and it just looks like there's an armoured mask over the top of what is the main hull, so it's like a second layer of hull armour there. You can sort of see what I mean by that. From that angle there, you can see where it's all vented. Or grilled, or whatever you want to call it. It is a nice little design on the ship, and I do quite like it. Definitely brings character to the ship. Underneath, it's very smooth and slick, but it has all these veins running along it, which is a very nice detailed touch. The windows, I think, look amazing. Just the way they're on the ship really makes it feel like this is a fast, powerful ship. The only negative to it is it also makes it feel big. Like, really big. I'm hoping it's not as big as I think it is, because if it is, even then I would no longer be able to explain those nacelles. And holy balls, those cannons would be powerful. The turret cannons I mentioned before. On to another side note, we can see the impulse drives, but that makes me really heavily question something. What are those two blue glowing elements just above the central impulse engine? They seem a little out of place there. They might be part of the warp stabilization field. I don't know. They are quite interesting that they're there, and I do kind of approve, but it really does make me question what it is. Another random question I've got is, what am I supposed to make of the internal veins? If you look at the ship, you got this sort of spike section there where it sort of faults off in the nacelle. And then looking below it, you can see these weird grill-like veins. To me, they make very little sense. Unless we're saying that's the line of sight, and it's just the elements aren't glowing. And perhaps these blue elements at the back here are actually the deflector array, which I originally believed to be in the middle here. But that would seem like too big of a deflector. So I believe those are the actual warp grills. And yes, I've just assumed that the warp grills are surrounding the bridge corridors to the docking points. And I've also been assuming people are going to be moving in and out of here. I do imagine this ship has 2 engineering bays, however. In fact, that might even be what this at the back is. It could be 1 engineering here and 2 engineering bays in this section. Or, quite plausibly, it's 1 engineering bay only in the center. Either way, I'm really not sure what to make of this ship. It is very unusual. Another thing, one final thing I want to comment on visually with this ship is the impulse array. Now, just going to the center of it, I like the fact that it's blue circles and the way they're designed. But then I love this sort of ceremonial boxing around them. I know it's a point of prejudice for some people, they really don't like it. But for me, it does actually feel Klingon, and it feels really aggressive and ready. I just like it. I kind of want to see more of it, if I'm totally honest. More stuff like that on Klingon ships would be amazing. Finally, I want to comment on the hull. Just the hull itself. As that was the last thing that really stuck out to me. It's a very smooth plated hull. Heavily armoured is just the most obvious part of this ship. The nacelles themselves are just plate armour, no windows whatsoever. The only windows you see is near the centre. In fact, the only windows you see are on the pylons and the central section. There's literally nowhere else. So this ship is extremely well armoured. I like the fact that it's a dark armour as well. Feels very nice and rugged to me. Feels combat ready. But to having said that, the CHARGH armour is not actually the best on this ship. Speaking of, so the CHARGH's armour is a very nice, very, very stunning grey Aztec plated armour. There is no special bridge to it. Hello, Lursa. But what is nice about this ship is, well, one, the window choices, which don't add anything where it shouldn't be, which is a nice thing again. Very nice thing in my personal opinion. But is the whole armor types. So you got your 5 types, plus CHARGH, plus upgrade, plus veteran should you be a veteran, plus the Kirk, and then plus, the Quark, and the Bird of Prey. Now type 0, hell, If you don't like the Type 0 hull plating, who are you? I absolutely love it. And look what it does to that armor. Really brings it alive. Takes it from that smooth plate to such heightened detail. And it's the whole ship. It really does feel more alive like that. The Type 1, 2, 3. 3 is a really nice one. The black, the bits of black with a sort of goldy green, it's a really nice touch, I feel like. Also makes the ship feel more, this gives it a more up-to-date feel. I imagined if it was brought into our time period, well, the present period of STO, this is its aesthetic. So I've always imagined that's the canon one, that's more the present, or maybe this one. Seeing as this is STO's beautiful new one, and look what it does for aesthetic touches. Makes what I think consider the hatches look amazing. The actual warp crystals possibly are great. Personally, this would be the way I'd be flying the ship if it was me. Damn, it's a nice touch. The upgrade is a very lovely, typical sort of greeny gold one. You have your veteran that most of you probably used to. The red detailing is absolutely gorgeous on it. Really makes the ship feel aggressive and angry. You can take the quark. Sorry, I keep calling it the quark. The quark, and that makes, well, I'm now more than positive than ever that those side hatches are hangar bays. Just look at that. They're definitely hangar bays. Not hangar bays. Oh, fuck. Docking hatches. Sorry. I'm 100% certain that those are docking hatches here now. Look at that. That is definite. And if those aren't crystals, they're actually warp core ejection points. But just look at this ship right now. This is a gorgeous touch. Go to bird of prey. Again, definitely hatches. I feel like it's lost its life and it's just more dead than anything now. Yeah, the bird of prey is not the best one on this ship. But hey, you can't win them all. Sometimes you just gotta suffer with what you get. Sometimes it's not such a bad thing. Because, well, how do I put it? Sometimes it just looks good. Now, admittedly, the other armor skins, although they can all look really amazing, I mean, seriously, just look at the way the main central column looks now. This will definitely be the one that I use on the ship. It has distinct weak spots as well, like, for example, the impulse drive crystals are red, but they got a blue afterglow. Something not quite right there, but hey-ho! What is to be said is that this ship does have an absolutely stunning look with other hull types. So it's always one which this is definitely one of those ships which I would say start experimenting. Take a look at what you've got. Is there something great? How about the Aegis? Now the Aegis is... yeah, the Aegis shields, not so great. However, they do add a flare of power to it. It's just... if you can live with the bad spots, the good spots really do bring this ship alive, in my personal opinion. And now that there's a glow at the front, yep, these are... someone just blew up. These are definitely the Basards. And I'm positive these are charge coils now at the front of the ship. On those obvious cannons at the front of the ship, those are definitely charge coils, and yep, that's a focusing lens or whatever. blooming Nora is quite nicely designed. Terran. Because sometimes the Terran Empire gives you a stunning look. Well, in this case, it gives you very much a CHARGH hull type, but the docking rings look far superior. Impulse array, a bit questionable. I like the fact there's blue and yellow in the impulse array now. That's quite a nice touch. The warp grills look quite nice too. She really does look imposing, doesn't she? Bajoran. Now this one I did expect to be a bit weird. It's got these weird glow element points to it. This could actually pass for a Bajoran ship to me. Funny enough, and another thing to point out and comment on, I have my best way of describing this ship would be to say, as we go to the dielectric oscillation resilience shields, it looks like the ship is basically spread its arms out, grabbed onto a couple of massive rockets and going, yeah, blow me along, pull me! And that's what he's bloody doing. It does seriously look like two huge rockets are pulling this ship along. I mean, it's not a bad design cue, but it's not the best. About Jemadar, this should be good. Oh, it is and all. I'm not keen on every spot, but it is a really nice look. And then there's purple in the blue. Hey, it's a good combination. Just need to get those Herald's weapons now, don't I? This should be good. Oh, and it blasted is. Now, this makes it feel like less of a warship and more of a racing ship. It's like, how fast can you go now? Massive impulse and warp drive combined together, generating huge amounts of power so the ship can just bolt forwards. I would imagine this to be like a warp 9 ship during the period where you're only able to do warp 5s, where most ships are only doing warp 5. That's what's going on here, sort of stuff. The way the chroming and all this detailing looks, it just makes it feel like slick, fast and powerful. Well, more slick, fast and fast rather than powerful in this situation. But it's not a bad touch. Oh, but with Klingon... Oh, but with Dominion assistance from Kronos, let's just take a look at... And now with Dominion assistance from Kronos, let's have a look at the shields that I couldn't look at otherwise, since my Dominion Klingon ally has more Vanity shields. How about the sarcophagus's hole on the ship? Look at how beautiful that is. I do apologise for the dark lighting. I wish I could make this a little bit better, but you gotta work at what you got. Unless you guys like me doing it, Kronos. I will say this, the whole ship really does stand out in this hole. It looks very regal as well. It almost looks like part of a major house's armor. But you can Ferengize it if you want. Don't mind me, just becoming a Ferengi. Might be a bit of an issue there, but oh, I can't help it. It does look really good though like this. It's got an unusual touch to it. The Ferengi Vanity shields on this ship does work, which is nice to say. And it's actually turned the impulse drive yellow. Now you can simulate the ship if you wish. And that, oh yes. That has a very nice touch to it. Also, you can very much see this ship as a Borg vessel. I would love to see it with fuller simulation parts on it, just to see where the deflector actually is. If you get a weird thing on the point of one of these 2 points, I'm going to be like, well, okay, that's the deflector. Nice. Actually, oh no, I don't have something I can put in the deflector. Damn it. Finally, probably one of my favorites after. Oh, wow! Oh, yes! Oh, I like the feel of that. That really comes across as powerful and aggressive. Almost feels like it's alive, almost. Like it's a cybernetic life form. That is the size of a ship. Hey, they exist in the Star Trek universe. It's a beauty, isn't it? Gotta say, I like what I see. I know what I like, and I like this ship. It's a nice ship. Woo! Ain't no complaints going on here. So herein lies the fundamental question. What do you think of it? Is she a good ship? Does she fit in with the rest of the Klingon ships? Some ways she does, some ways she doesn't. She is a very, very nice and beautiful design, and there's no way I'm going to deny that part. I like this ship. If I had to give her a score, well, I always do give them scores for each of these reviews I do. So, as a visual score, customization is great. Customization gets... It would have been nice if STO gave us a updated version of this ship. I would have loved that. Shame we don't have that. But the ship's... the way it's been recreated in STO is so beautifully on point. I've got to score it 8 out of 10 there with customization. And, well, just the design itself, the way how beautiful she is. That itself gets a very, very nice 8 out of 10 from me as well. The only reason it is only 8 out of 10 is because I feel like you could have done a bit more on the detailing front. Make it feel a little bit more Klingon. Maybe had them swoop down a little bit. I don't know. Giving a bit more to the central section, perhaps. But either way, I do like this ship. It is a very beautiful and tough looking ship, and I'm going to enjoy flying this one. I would be saying that I'm doing these reviews in order of how I like them, but I'm not. I did do my favourite one first, but they are all stunning in my opinions. The Klingon CHARGH class, oh yeah, she's a nice ship. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video and found it somewhat enlightening. I really hope that you'll go to my comment section below and have your say on this ship. Tell me what you think of her. Also, let me know if there's a ship you want me to look at. I'm more than happy to take up requests. And finally, don't forget to check out the description for links to my social media. It's one of the best ways to communicate with me. That or the comment section. But for now, thank you for the support you've shown me by watching to the end. It does mean an awful lot to me. I'm in hard times at the moment, and everything you guys do that help me out, liking my videos, watching to the very end, is greatly appreciated. Thank you, and I'll see you next time. And now to be a little bit more Klingon. Fight with honor! Helm, take us out! We must fight